There is a gun safety bill sitting on Mitch McConnell's desk, waiting for Mitch McConnell to allow it to even be debated on the floor of the Senate, and he will not. It's a bill already passed out of the U.S. House. This is Trump's fault. This is what we've been talking about for a number of weeks now, months. That Trump's rhetoric was inflaming the monsters who vote for him and believe that he is God's extra son, or the best thing that Jesus could ever have given America. You know, the combination of Christianity and abject violence is nothing new. It's been going on forever. But this is different. This is more threatening. As far as the slaughters are concerned, you are vulnerable, as am I, and my daughter, and my son, every time we leave the neighborhood. You could be next. I could be next. One of us probably will be next. Because that's where we live now. We live in a country where fascism is everywhere. From the leader of the executive branch and scattered all through the legislative branch, the judicial branch of government, media, it's everywhere. Education, and most pronounced in religion. The coward in chief, I'm not talking about Mitch McConnell, he's just, I heard he fell down and broke his collarbone yesterday, whatever. And as I was reading the article, before I read the part where Mitch McConnell was discharged from the hospital, I kept thinking, well, the guy's 77 years old. He fell and broke his collarbone. If they put him in the hospital, he may develop pneumonia. If he develops pneumonia, the problem of Mitch McConnell being the type of stuff that stops up your toilet so you can't flush it, maybe he'll be gone. And then I read he was home. But I digress. Trump, the head Nazi in the American government, the biggest coward I think I have ever run across, not in my own face-to-face experience. I mean in terms of a prominent figure. Donald Trump he gives cowardice a bad name. But during the shooting, he was playing golf. After the shooting, he just kept playing golf. He doesn't give a fuck. According to the Associated Press, Trump spent the hours after the tragedies, plural, out of sight at his New Jersey golf course. He sent out tweets, a couple of them, the usual bullshit from this monster. The usual bullshit from Trump. But he mixed those tweets in with a couple promoting a celebrity fight, cage fighting, and other tweets attacking his political foes. This is Donald Trump. This is America. According to the Associated Press, the bastard was supposed to return to Washington tonight, Sunday night, at which point his Nazi high command said he would probably address reporters. But nobody has seen him, not after the 20 people were killed in El Paso and the 9 people were killed in Dayton, Ohio. No one has seen him. One of the reasons is because he's no good at consoling people. He's no good, in other words, at being a human being. He was never trained on how to be human. He's a punk. He's a gangster. He doesn't give a shit about anybody or anything except himself. No, not his kids. They live in some illusion world where Donald just throws money at them. Not his old ladies, not the women he's been married to. They know that. But Trump is the reason this has happened over the weekend. This is what Trump was hoping for. This is what he was hoping for, and this is what he was promoting. Remember, where was he? In the panhandle of Florida? Yeah, he was in Panama City. At a May rally in Panama City Beach, Florida, Trump bitched and complained about all the legal protections for immigrants. He doesn't like anything that's illegal that gets in his way. Why is this guy still president? But he said to the zombies who had gathered together to cheer him on, he said, "How do you stop these people?" And somebody in the audience said, "Shoot them." And Trump laughed and said, "Only in the panhandle can you get away with that statement." No, you dirty bastard, not only in the panhandle, all over America now, thanks to you, you murderous piece of shit. Trump is complicit in these killings. He's an accessory. He promotes them. He promotes violence. And it's only going to get worse. This pig has issued all his racist tweets about 4 women of color who serve in Congress. When he goes before the zombies with his 2-minute hate that usually stretches into an hour, he talks about the invasion at our southern border. We're being invaded. Remember the invasion. Remember the horde that was coming right before the election in 2018. Remember the horde, and he had to send the military.
And he shut down the government.
He shut down the government because the horde was coming, and he couldn't get his money that Mexico was going to build. Remember all this? Of course you do. And then the horde never showed up. And his re-election campaign so far is to be open and blatant about his racism, because that's what his zombie followers want to hear. That's what his Christians want to hear. I read a piece in today's paper, something brand new. You know, I fucking hate Christianity. It's a destructive, death cult, blood-soaked mind fuck. It's awful. It's an awful philosophy, an awful religion. It's sick and degenerate. So, you know my feeling about that. So I'm reading the perspective section of New York Times today, Sunday. And there's an article about back in the early 1800s, 1810, 1820, 1830, where Catholic orders of Catholic nuns in the United States sold enslaved people, bought and sold enslaved people. That's how the bitches made their money. That's how these fucking black-robed, sick, goddamn Catholic nuns, that's how they made their money, buying and selling people. Read it. Go to nytimes.com. Go to the perspective section. Read about these fucking bitches. Read what they did. But I digress. I can never say enough negative, enough in a negative sense about Christianity. It is a fucked up, controlling mind fuck. And anyone who still subscribes to it, I would just say to you, what the fuck is wrong with you? His reelection campaign is to continue to divide, continue to be the racist Nazi that he is. And this is something that hasn't appeared in American electoral politics in the modern era. Back in the 1920s, yeah. But pumping out the hate and the divisiveness, according to his zombie staff, this is supposed to activate his base of conservative voters. If you're a conservative, you happen to stumble on this podcast, which you won't because this one's only for subscribers, but I would ask you to ask your conservative people that you know the same question I've asked. What the fuck is wrong with these people? That the motivating factor to get them to go to the polls to reelect this monster is hate, racism, divisiveness, contempt, disgust, cowardice, fear, bullshit, lies. His false equivalency when he talks about, well, good people on both sides. This group of people were protesting Nazi fascist bastards, and one of these people was killed. And this piece of shit president of ours says, well, there's good people on both sides. You dumb fuck. No, there isn't. According to the Associated Press, his first tweet after the El Paso shooting yesterday, Saturday, had Trump calling it, quote, terrible, and promising the full support of the federal government. You fucking liar! You liar! And 14 minutes later, 14 minutes later, he tweeted again a post, a tweet wishing United Fight Club fighter Colby Covington, who loves Trump, good luck in his fight Saturday night. And that was soon followed with a pair of tweets talking about his political opponents. And then his two fucked up sons, Eric and Don Jr., they went to the UFC fight. This is what these bloodthirsty fuckers do. They want to see blood. They want to see people hurt each other. They want to see people kill each other. And everything Trump does is in that direction, to promote that. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. You have your choice. You can listen to The Ranting with the audio podcast or listen and watch me lose control with a video podcast subscription. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.